Okay, guys, it's Aslam Dutoy. Hope you guys are awesome. You're probably watching this either on my YouTube channel or my Facebook page or Instagram, wherever you're watching it. I think you're going to get a lot of value. Today's an exciting day. I've been looking forward to this for such a long time. I've been watching this lady from afar, trying to learn from the masters. One of my mentors always told me that, if you want to if you want to become successful, find someone who has exactly what you want, do exactly as they did, and you get the results that they have. And then I had another mentor about a week or so back say that, if you just take action and you go on a journey somewhere, and if you just take that first step, along the way, someone might tell you, you know what, there's a better way to do it. There's a shorter way of doing it. And that mentor is actually sitting on the call right now. I heard it in one of her videos because I watch her from afar. So even though I'm in South Africa, she's all the way in the United States. That's the beauty of technology. So guys, I have Diane Hochman on the call today. And she's known, if you don't know her, she's known as the attraction marketing queen. If you don't know what attraction marketing is, believe me, you're going to find out today. She's a 20-year network marketing veteran. She's an online marketing rock star. She's always number one in one of the platforms I'm in. Her name's always number one. Now you know why I reached out to her, because she's the best at what she does. And on top of that, she's been mentored by legends like Jim Rohn. She's worked with some of the network marketing superstars like Ray Higdon, Matt Morris. All these guys know her. And something that I found out is that she's the leader that other leaders go to when they want to learn how to build their businesses online. So we're in for a treat today. I know I'm going to learn a lot. I hope you guys are going to learn a lot. Diane, how are you doing today?
I am wonderful. It's good to talk to you from across the globe. How cool is this?
Awesome. Yes, technology is so great. It's so great.
Yeah.
So, guys, whenever you're watching this, right now it's July. We're sitting in a situation where we've got this virus going on, and Diane is one of those people. She's been building her business from home for, I think it's close to 20 years, Diane?
It is 20, yeah. 20 plus,
years.
yeah.
I'm sure it feels like 2 years, right?
It feels like 100 years and 2 years at the same time. Isn't that weird?
Okay, awesome. Now, I know a little bit about your story. I don't know everything. Like, I've caught little snippets from all the videos I've seen of you. But if you can just rewind all the way back, you obviously were not always a online network marketer or an internet marketer. You started off in network marketing, but let's just rewind even prior to that. What profession were you in? Where did you start off?
I was a student activities director at a college, so I worked with student leaders. And then I left my job because I was pregnant with my second daughter, and I decided I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. But we were kind of tight on money, and that's what brought me into the industry.
Okay. And did you see it like most of us saw it? Was it like a home meeting that you went to?
It was actually, I purchased product first from a relative, and then I liked the product and they invited me to a meeting, and I thought it was to talk about the product and how it was working for you, but it was an opportunity meeting. And so I was in a hotel room with probably about 200 people. And that was the first time I even knew I could have a business. Never heard of it before. Didn't know what network marketing was. Didn't know I could have a home business. And I just sat there and I went, this is it. I could do this.
You're making me think back to when I got started. When I looked at that presentation, I was like, wow, I can actually become rich in this. Did you think the same thing on the day?
No, not at all. I had no thoughts of being rich. I had thoughts of just being able to stay home. I wasn't trying to get rich. I wasn't dreaming of any of that. It was very much mom, and mom wanted to be home. I needed to replace the income that I used to have. Okay,
awesome. So you get into this opportunity, and did you make your list of 100 names? We all told make your list of 100 names.
I'm the kid that listened to all the directions, which is maybe the first key that we should talk about, is when you get directions, listen to them and do them, and then later make up your own way. But I did make a list. I had a home party, and I made $420 the first day that I showed this to people.
Oh, wow. So you got some success just right out of the gate, right?
Mm-hmm. So and then it stopped. That was the problem. Once I ran out of that list of friends and family, I had started in October. by the time the holidays in the United States, everything just stops in November, December. Everybody's just busy eating and stuff. And this is a weight loss product. So everybody stopped ordering. And all of a sudden I was back at the beginning again. So that it was exciting, and then it stopped.
Okay, awesome. And during all this time, did you have a mentor that was kind of coaching you through it?
I had a cousin. I don't know if it was before. It was a relative that was doing their best. Doing their best. They had a great weight loss story, but not necessarily a lot of business background.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So you get started, you get a few people in, you sell some products, and you know what happens from there? Like, you know, did you start going out and meeting people? I know, like with me, I started going out, trying to meet people at networking events, in the gym. They told me, you know what, if they're 3 feet away from you, you need to speak to them. That's what I was told, the 3-foot rule. So I spoke to everyone.
Okay,
Was it
so
the
what
same
I want everybody to understand, this is 1999, so this is before the internet was prevalent, before high-speed internet. There was no such thing as video. There weren't even pictures on the internet, very few. And a page would take 20 minutes for a page to load, like a web page. So the internet wasn't an option at that time. So the first thing I did was I did go out and like go to the mall and stuff. And I had 2 small children, so that was very challenging. Plus, you wouldn't know it today, but I'm an introvert and I don't like approaching people. So that was very, very hard for me. But again, I wanted to be home, so I did it. Didn't do well. Then I ran classified ads in the newspaper, and I had strangers coming to my house, and I had some bad experiences, and I didn't want strangers in my house. I tried to hold meetings. Then I bought phone leads, and I was calling strangers and trying to talk to them. That didn't go well. So I found myself in a kind of crummy place because I just was not good at approaching people.
Right. I watched a video of you once where you said that one of your mentors, early mentors, took you to, I think it was a donut shop or something. And,
oh no, that's later on. That's later.
Is that later on? So you're not even there yet? Okay.
No, we're not anywhere near there. So
right.
So let me tell you what happened. I did use the internet at the time, and it was very slow. So I used to, besides my business, I used to make floral arrangements at night for extra money.
Right.
And so I would sit and make arrangements, gluing the flowers together and stuff, waiting for the internet to load, waiting for the web page to load. And I came across this gentleman named Joe Schroeder, who was my mentor that I mentioned many times. And I got hooked on reading his newsletter. Okay, he had one of the very first newsletters, which will be important later in the story. And he was a really great writer. And he sold 2 courses. One was $12.95, and one was $197. But if you bought the $197 course, you got the $12 one for free. Me being the budget queen, but because I was on a budget, I didn't have money. I literally rolled coins, like I saved coins in a bucket and then took them to the bank to turn them in to get $197 plus the shipping, so I could buy the big course because I would get the little course for free, and I wanted to save $13. And I bought this course, and this was in the mail. It came with cassette tapes. This is not long ago. And that course changed my life, because that's when I learned that I could actually, and that's what he said in his ads, you can have people come to you. You don't have to chase people. He was the first person out there on the internet saying that. You don't have to chase people. You don't have to prospect. You don't have to do this. And he was teaching how to make people come to you. And I said to myself, if people came to me, I'd be fine. It's the approaching that makes me feel funny. And that's 6 cassette tapes and a manual, like a spiral bound. Here, I'll just show you one. This is not the one, but something like this, spiral bound, like photocopy, nothing fancy. And then the little course had 2 cassette tapes and a booklet. And I listened to them over and over and over and over again. and the internet was evolving, and I built myself a little marketing system, and the rest is history.
Wow. So what was the period? Obviously, you started around 99, and then you were spinning your wheels
This is
trying to find.
2001. This is
Okay.
2001, like maybe the end of 2000, 2001. I read his newsletters and back then you didn't have websites, you didn't have videos. So he had phone numbers you could call and listen to him talk.
Wow.
So I spent a lot of time listening to him for free before I gave him any money, because I had no money, which was a gift. That's number two. So number one is listen to the directions and try it, because I had to learn what I learned to be able to do what I did.
Sure.
So if I didn't, if I went, no, forget about it, I could have never progressed. The second one is, what was I just about to say? Gosh, see, I'm old. That's like, lose my train of thought. I didn't have money, and not having money is a gift, because you can't buy your way to success.
Wow.
Now, that is not contradicting. You need to invest in yourself. You have to invest in yourself, and you have to invest in teachers and mentors. But at the time, $200 was a very big investment for me. Now I don't hesitate to spend, I just had a $2,000 course. I don't hesitate to spend money. I have money now. But in the beginning, you invest within reason, because you can't buy success. You have to learn it. You have to go through the work. So I listened to it over and over and over. So I had a lot of repetition, which would be number three. I'm making these up as I go. Number three would be repetition. Everybody wants to consume, learn more. My recommendation is you pick a teacher and you absorb and inhale everything they have until you possess that information. If you can't execute it, you don't know it. If you can't execute it, you don't got it. You don't need something, you don't need to go to the next thing, because you don't understand the first thing.
Right.
Understanding a concept intellectually is very different than being able to execute it.
Well, guys, now you understand why I brought Diane onto the school. But you touched on something really amazing. I know we're in the world of and I actually have it as one of my questions here. But you got into network marketing and the internet before things like social media existed. So it's obviously changed and evolved. But you said something very important now. You said, I listened to this guy for free. Like, he had these calls and I would listen to that. I think for me, that's a key, because that's one of the key building tips that you teach today. And it might not have been called attraction marketing at the time, but can you just touch on that idea? Like, I'm assuming that because you listened to him, it made you trust him a bit more, because.
Absolutely. Let me tell you a funny story. I had listened to him and read his stuff so much, and then when I bought his tapes, I had listened to them so much. I ended up meeting him later on, several years later. After I'd done a lot of different things, I met him. I met him in 2005.
Wow.
And he had invited me to come to a dinner he was holding with some marketers, and I went down. And we hit it off, and we became friends, and he was teaching me stuff, and he had invited me another day to come down and have lunch. So we're sitting at this very popular American restaurant, and we're sitting at the bar, but we're having lunch, not drinking. And he was telling me a story about his family, about his sister, and he mentioned his brother-in-law, and I go, well, is Russell okay? Because he wasn't feeling well. And he got really upset with me. And he goes, how do you know my brother-in-law's name? Why do you know this guy? Why do you know this about me? He got all creeped out, and I said, it was on your tapes. I had listened to him so much, and I knew his content so well that I knew his brother-in-law's name.
Wow.
Now, what happened was that made him want to teach me, because like people come to me all the time and they have all the questions and they have this, and I'm like, have you even checked out my YouTube channel yet? Have you looked at my blog yet? There's 20 years, well, not 20, but there's 10 years, 12 years worth of content there. Have you even looked? Where I was the consummate student, and the same, I got to spend time with Jim Rohn. I knew his work inside and out. I could have a good conversation with him. Most people want to get, and they haven't studied the work of the master that they want to learn from. And it's very important. It's very important, whoever you pick. Guys, I can't tell you enough how powerful it is, because when they know you know their work, they become obligated. What did I do with you? Right? I noticed you right
Exactly.
away. I noticed your energy. I noticed that you had read things and seen things, and I gave you time. And the
Exactly.
reason why is simply because of who you are and your energy and this um I call it juice, this juice that you have that the average person doesn't. They just want to complain, and you want to achieve. I have an obligation to give to you like my mentor gave to me.
Wow. Yes, and
A spiritual law.
that's so powerful, Diane. I think you're touching on all the right things, and I think it's what people don't understand. That it takes a long time to get from to get to where you are today. To get all those results. People want the microwave result, but you consumed all the information, all the work. But I'm very interested, after you bought that first course from him, what happened to your results in your business? Because you hadn't really started working with him until many years later. But what
Yeah.
happened in that period after you got that initial course? Did you see a dramatic increase immediately?
Let me give a disclaimer before I answer this question, just so you guys know. My daughter is a singer, and she sings harmonies and tracks. So if you hear squealing in the background, like it sounds like weird, it's because she's singing a track. So people hear it sometimes, and I tried to tell her I'm doing an interview, but she didn't hear it, so she's singing. It took me a little while to put the pieces together because I was putting them together on my own. And I really think today there's so much more access. Remember, there was only a couple people that would teach marketing back then. Today, there's so much information and access to so many people. And you really can hire someone that's just a level or two above you to teach you, especially the technology. I pieced together how to make an ebook. I learned how to create a very basic capture page, which was revolutionary at the time. And if you guys are new, that's just the place where you put in your name and email. Somebody might say, here's a report on, 7 ways to do something, put in your name and email. And I learned how to create an ebook, and I learned how to create an order form. There was no online ordering at the time of anything. It took me a little while. But by the time I met him, I was already doing 20 to 30,000 volume myself.
Wow.
In my company. That's not my team, just me in selling products and stuff, because I had created a machine. So what was happening was my system was, he called it select, sell, sort, and sponsor for you. My system, people would come through and they would put their name and email in to download my free ebook. And then they'd start getting follow-up letters.
Right.
And some of them popped right away. They'd download the ebook, they'd read it, they'd want to order, they'd call me up. There was an order form and it said, call me with your credit card in hand. Tell me if you want program A, B, or C, vanilla, chocolate, strawberry. They'd call up and they go, hi, is this Diane? I go, yeah, hi, how can I help you? I'd like to order program B and chocolate. Great. What form of payment will you be using? I mean, I just became an order taker. So some people would order right away. Some people it would take months. Some people it would take a long time. But I had them all in a system they were constantly being followed up on. And it gave me much more leverage than just individually talking to people. Because let's say I prospected you, and I'd have to call you again in 2 months and see if you're open now, and call you again in 2 months and see if you're open now. And it's kind of like pestering a person.
Right.
You're on my list. I have to keep following up. How long do you follow up? Until they die, This would follow up on my behalf, getting them to contact me when they were ready. So any given day, I was taking 2 to 5 calls.
Right.
So I could be with my kids.
Wow.
I could take those calls, take those orders, and then as people got on the product, I could introduce the concept of referring to get some free product or making money.
So when they were finding you online, when you took this new path,
they weren't finding me online.
Oh, they weren't finding you online.
No, because online was so rudimentary. What I did was I found a source of leads. By the way, this is, I call them stupid mom tricks. I was just like band-aiding together. I was just taping. It was like using tape to put together a system because I didn't know what I was doing. I found a source that sold weight loss leads, and I bought leads of people that wanted to lose more than 50 pounds. And I sent them a postcard. I sent them an email. individually, pushing them into the system. And then I would call, but I would call during the day on purpose and leave them voicemails. I was hoping not to talk to someone. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was scared of people. So
Wow.
I would leave them a message, making believe I was my assistant, Susan. And I would say, hi, we got your, we recently you filled out a survey indicating that that you're interested in losing weight. Diane Hochman has lost more than 100 pounds, and she has a website that tells the story of how she did that. You can go to www.ilosthundredpounds.com. And I didn't tell them to call back. I didn't want to talk to someone. There's somebody at my door. Sarah! It's crazy. I work from home.
Yeah, no, and I love that. I love that because that just shows the flexibility. But when you were giving these people the information, or when they were finding, with these leads that you were finding, I think what's important is you were finding targeted leads. You were finding people that had exactly what you were looking for or what you were selling. So you weren't trying to pitch everyone anymore. Yeah,
and that's what I figured out. Yeah. I didn't know how to generate them myself, but what I did was I took leads that somebody had generated and I sorted through them. Later, I learned how to generate my own leads. So each step, it was kind of like a jigsaw puzzle, and you put together the outside, and you can start to see the picture, and then you start to put the pieces together until one day I saw the whole thing, and then the rest was, piece of cake. But it's people want to walk in the door and they want to go from $0 to $10,000 a month. They want to go from no skills to being on the stage, being a speaker. Everybody wants to go from I've never done anything to being a coach. And it's amazing how many broke coaches there are today. Really fascinating. I was never interested in any of that. I wasn't looking for spotlight. I ended up getting it later. I wasn't even interested in a lot of money. I was just interested in bringing up my children. So I think some of the gifts were, I didn't have a lot of money to waste, so therefore I wasn't blowing it. And I was very focused on just being home. I wasn't we were in debt. We had run a bunch of debt when we bought a house. So first focus was pay off the debt. Then it was improve our life. And I remember, the first time I had enough money, I went to buy a car and I bought it cash. It was like a miracle. Wow. And I paid for the kids' colleges and all that stuff. And in the United States, it's very expensive. I don't know about South Africa, but in the United States, Billion's college was probably $150,000.
Amazing.
It is.
And you were paying for all of this with a home business.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So, it went on to become beyond my wildest dreams. And I've traveled around the world, not to South Africa yet. I hope to get there. I haven't been on the African continent at all yet. I've been a lot of places, but not Africa yet. I have South African friends, actually several. I've gotten to travel many places. I've gotten to speak on some of the biggest stages in the space. I've gotten to train people that have gone on to do 6-7 figures. I have one person that's done 8 figures as a student of mine. So it's been like a dream come true, but it was all about mentorship, leverage, because that gentleman became my mentor for 6 years. I walked with him. I wasn't worrying about getting rich. I wanted to learn what he knew. I wanted to download his brain into mine. I'm so thankful for him today. And then I strive to be that for, wait for someone to show up that has that type of desire. There's not that many people out there. You're surprised. Everybody wants it, and not that many people want to do the work daily. Because I could teach someone in like 2 days everything I know.
Wow.
If even that long. The question is, will you do it? Because most people think, well, this doesn't work, because they do it for 4 days and go, work. You have to do it
consistency.
Consistency and gaining leverage. And a lot of that is, it's nuance. It's hard to understand it because you can't see it yet. And if there's one thing I've always done is that I've sought leverage. My first system gave me leverage, right? It gave me the power to talk to more people without talking to more people. I could talk to, like today, I will demonstrate to someone, they'll post and wonder why they don't get something. I'll post and I'll sign up 10 people. And they're like, why? Because of the way I have everything set up. I'm literally getting in front of 100,000 people. Somebody else got in front of 10.
It's all
So
numbers.
if I say, yeah. And so what's funny though, is because they think I'm so amazing. I'm not so amazing. It's just that I was in front of more people, because my rejection rate, if I got in front of 100,000 people this week and I signed up 10, well, my rejection rate is astronomical, right? If you got in front of 10 and signed up no one, your rejection rate is 10. You know, it might be 100%, but 10 people rejected you, right? If I get in front of 100,000, they didn't reject me, but most of them didn't see it, or they didn't pay attention to it, or they were distracted or whatever. So if I got 10 out of 100,000, I did terrible. And yet I did better than everybody else.
That's something that Jim Rohn speaks about in his in one of his
Safety and Lois, safety in numbers and the law of averages.
Yes.
Knock, knock, knock. I know that talk by heart, man.
So
that with him to hear it live.
So there was a video that I watched of yours, and I was like asking myself, so what did she do? What did she do? But I watched this video where you're speaking about your mentor, and you're saying that, firstly, I love that you're saying, look, network marketing will always be network marketing. It doesn't matter whether it's online or offline, you're building relationships. And he sent you guys into I think it was a donut shop, and he said, you've got to get these people to give you donuts or something. And
so
yeah, can you tell that story? But you gotta tell us what you told the people, because they eventually gave you the donuts, right?
Oh, well, there's so many different ones. I may not tell the same story exactly the same way. But here is the thing: when I first met him, this guy was like he was like the Ray Higdon of the '90s. Okay, he was like the big dude, right? And Ray's a good old friend of mine. And so I was like, this is it. This is the big time. He's going to teach me how to close the big deals. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do, you know, I was like, you think you're getting with this guru? And the first thing he wanted me to do was, he realized that even though I could prospect, I really didn't like it. And he wanted me to learn to talk to people differently. So he took business out of it. And you got to hear this story first before that one makes sense. He said, I want you to go out. And I want you to stop in every Walmart, every gas station, every convenience store. And I want you to start talking to people. He goes, and I want you to make it about them. I want you to keep talking to people, just being friendly, not trying to sell anything, not trying to prospect, until somebody literally begs you not to leave because they've fallen in love with you in 2 minutes. Because I want you to do it until somebody begs you not to leave. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's crazy. That's bizarre. What do you mean? He goes, go do it. So I'd go out every day, and I'd stop, like before, I'd drop the kids off in school, and I'd stop in a gas station. I'd buy a pack of gum. I'd stop, you know, in the Walmart, and I'd talk to the cashier. And I started to learn to notice, like you might have on a t-shirt and it has your team logo, you know, like you're into football or something. And I go, oh, that's a great team or something. Or oh gosh, you like that. You know, I'm from America. We like American football. It's a different game. Or starting a conversation. Or I'd notice your jewelry. Or I'd notice whatever. And especially with women, it's easy because they wear certain jewelry or they have a handbag. And I kept wiping out. Just nobody was that excited about me. People were nice, but nobody was like, I love you, you know. And I went one day into a gas station before I picked up the kids from school. And I walk in to buy a pack of gum. I had a lot of gum back then. Gum, and, you know, there's this guy, and he's covered in tattoos. Okay, covered, arms, the whole, he's covered, his neck covered. Somebody that looks very different than, like, I didn't relate to him that much. But if you look at his tattoos, they were beautiful. They were in color and, you know, obviously. So I said, can I ask you a question? And he goes, yeah. And I said, did you plan them ahead of time, or did you just keep building on them? Or, you know, because they're gorgeous. And I said, and is that, you know, I'm looking at his arm. Well, the guy gets so excited to tell me the story of his tattoos. He's going and blowing, telling me all about his tattoos and telling me about, you know, his wife and telling me about his kids. And over here's the time he crashed his motorcycle. And, you know, he's got like pierced nose and all that stuff. Like, nicest guy on earth. We had this wonderful conversation. And I finally go, oh my gosh, John. And I got his name. I said, I got to run. The kids, I got to pick up the kids from school. I got to get down to Edgewood, just the other side of town, He's like, oh gosh, he comes out from behind the counter, walks around, opens the door for me. And he says, Diane, I really hope you come back and visit again another time. You're just the nicest person on earth. If you need anything at all, he goes, if you need anything with your car, you come see me. I'll take care of you. I walked out, I got in the car and I went, I did it. I finally got a person to be madly in love with me. And it wasn't manipulative and it wasn't yucky. It was about finding the thing that was important to them. So fast forward, he spent a lot of time teaching me how to get people to be very attracted to me, teaching me to make people want to hang around with me. He'd say, you need to make them want to breathe your air. And this is such simple stuff, Aslan, but it's so advanced. And most people just want to run an ad and make money. They don't realize it's about this essence. So we used to meet up for lunch about once a month. We drive and meet halfway in the middle. He lived in Jersey. I live in Connecticut, which means nothing to you, but you know where New York is. So I live north of New York. He lives south of New York. We'd meet up for lunch and we'd always go to Dunkin' Donuts. And my test would be, can you get the person behind the counter to give you a free donut? Because they like you. And I would fail. And I would do my grandmother sick in bed, and I would do this. I don't remember which the story is that I told in the video, but I succeeded several times. And most of the time it was just being really nice and asking for one. Hey, are you guys getting rid of any of those donuts? I can't buy one because I'm on a diet, but if you gave it to me, it wouldn't count. And they give me a donut. I don't know what story I told in that one, and it became a game of mastery. And it wasn't to get the donut. It was to get the person to want to give to me freely. And it was because I had to give to them first. I gave them energy. They wanted to give to me, and what they had was a donut.
Okay.
In our industry, we start with wanting to get. We want to make money. We want to get something. We want to get them to buy. We want to get. And people will always say to me, how do I get people? And my answer is always, what did you give them? Did you lift them up? Did you make them feel better? Did you give them hope? Did you show them an example of somebody like them that did it, that makes it possible for them? Did you validate their reason why? You know, like for me, it was my kids. I'm still not today very money motivated. I make a lot of money and I love it and it's fun. But if somebody says to me, you're going to make a lot of money, I'm like, what are we teaching? Who are we helping? What are we doing? Another person, they just want to make money. Great, let's talk money. I can talk money all day. I can make you a marketing plan here, break it down this way, this way, run it like this, put the sequence like this, you'll pop out, and this is how much you'll make at the end of the month if you do this and this. I can do that all day. I can create a launch. I can, I've been doing this for many years. But to me, it's more about something bigger. So we have to find out what's important to each person. We have to find out what motivates them. We have to find out whether they're even open or looking. Most of the time we're trying to ram our business down their throat. We have to create offers that make sense for them. I bought Joe Schroeder's course because I was going to get something for $13 for free. So I think he made $197. He gave up 13, but really what did it cost? What did those actual things cost him? $3, right?
Yes.
So he gave up $10 to get me to give him 200. Think about it. But we're so busy hoarding and not wanting to give something or share something or create something. I've spent my lifetime creating content for people like you and your audience to go receive it, whether they pay me or not. And out of that, so many people decide work with me or hire me or whatever the case may be.
That what you just said now is brilliant because, when my journey started with this whole attraction marketing and online marketing, the biggest challenge for me mentally, and I see it now with other people that are now starting to come my way, is when I say, don't keep on driving down your product down people's throats on social media. Stop posting your product pictures and your company name. And people always ask me the same thing. They're like, but if I don't tell people what I'm selling or what company I'm a part of, how will they know that I'm selling something? And you just touched on it right now. I read in a book where the guy says, making money is a law. It's like gravity. He says, so that like with gravity, what goes up must come down. He says, so the seed to money is value. You've got to give service first before you can get money.
Yep.
And I think you
It
just touched on it.
circulates.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, when you think about it, I have a phone, a dirty phone. Okay. Nobody wants this piece of whatever it is, glass and metal and whatever. Everybody wants the things it can do, right? Nobody wants a rectangle in their pocket. Hey, would you like a rectangle? I have rectangles. They're Samsung rectangles. They're the best rectangles. They're number one in the United States. They're incredible rectangles. This person uses rectangle, and nobody wants a rectangle in their pocket. What everybody wants to do is call their mom. What everybody wants to do is check the weather. What everybody wants to do is take a selfie, a picture, a memory. These are the things that we want. This is the thing that gets us it. If you sell weight loss, nobody wants your pill, your lotion, your potion, your shake. What they want is the end result. So when we tell stories about what the rectangle can do for you, or what the rectangle did for us, or why rectangles are good, it makes people naturally go, well, which rectangle do you use? And then I can go with the Samsung Note 10. Would you like one?
Right.
Right. And that was just 3 minutes. 3 minutes of explaining the whole concept. Nobody wants a rectangle, but you'll buy the rectangle I recommend if what I share with you moves you or interests you.
Emotionally, it's an emotional move.
And it's emotional, and it's sometimes logical. It depends on the personality type of the person. Like, for example, I'm older than you. I wear glasses, right? I like this phone in particular because it's bigger. I don't have to put on my glasses to see it when I pull it out of my purse. It's bigger than other people like a smaller phone. Like a guy might like a smaller phone, it fits in his pocket better. I don't put it in my pocket, I put it in my purse. Right. So for me, this phone is a better fit. Most people will be like, this phone's for you. You need this phone. You need this phone. You need this phone. Yes. We have different economies. This phone might be way too much for you, right. Or here in the States, it's way too much for a lot of people. This phone, I might pass the phone along to someone and it's a great fit for them. Or let's say phones are expensive, like you're a teenager and your mom says, do you want my phone or do you want the crummy phone that I'll buy you for $200? No, I'll take your used phone. Because the used phone is more valuable to them. It's all about what they want, what's logical. Some people need to know every spec. Other people just need to know, is the camera good? That's what they like. I need to know, like this one has this little pen and I use it to do stuff. To me, that's important. To another person, they don't care if there's a pen.
Exactly.
So we're not thinking about people. We're thinking about ourselves. And as long as we sell from our desire versus their desire, we set ourselves up to fail. And when we talk about our product, unless somebody knows that name, like if I talk about Fendi or Gucci or Prada or some really famous name, people want that because of the name, because they associate that name with status. But if you have, lolly lolly berry pops that make you get skinny, or whatever your aki berry juice is, nobody knows what that means and nobody cares. They just want to know, will I lose weight? Will my cholesterol go down? Will I have more energy? It could be anything. They don't care.
People are buying what it does. I think one of the stats that you mentioned in one of your videos that people would get excited about, when because they're always looking for the result, like you're speaking about wanting the result as opposed to wanting to know all the specifics. But I mean, your record, you said in one of your videos, you recruited, I think like 90 odd people in a couple of days. Yeah. Do you want to just speak about that? Because obviously you went from this journey, 99, you struggled. Then you came across some information, you went through some coaching, and then you came to this pinnacle level where, you recruited all these people. And I'm sure people still ask you today, how did you recruit 90 people in 2 or 3 days? And it's not what you did in 3 days, it's what you did before that.
Correct. And it's about, I'm a big proponent of leverage. I do have an email list, so I can send out an email and tell people. I can post and a lot of people will see. So it was all the relationships and all the leads I generated and all of that I did before that day. And it's also, people love those stories because it makes them think, oh, I'm going to recruit 100 people in a day and I'm going to get rich. But the reality is, under other circumstances, I would never recruit 100 people in a day. How do you take care of them? It makes no sense, especially in network marketing. That was an affiliate program. It was a single tier. I could put them in a group and work with them all. Everything is about what you did 90 days ago. If you're not happy with your result today, look at what you were doing 90 days ago in the last 90 days. Chances are you weren't doing enough, and that's why you're not happy today. So if you want to be happy 90 days from now, get to work and work really hard. And you're going to see, and not really hard, but smart, get some guidance, you know, like you're plugged into a system, you know, the system that I work with as well, there's a lot of guidance. You have access to me, you have access to other mentors, you're getting guidance. So you want to work smart because you can, you know, spin your wheels for 90 days. But it's all about consistent effort. And what I find is most people can't do an action for 10 days, let alone 5. They're like, oh, I forgot. Oh, my dog threw up. Oh, my, you know, it rained, it snowed, it, you know, it was windy. You know, you're working around all kinds of circumstances, you know, due to power and this and that, all these different things that you have to work around, and you're getting it done. So why do you get it done and other people don't? Because you want to.
It comes back to the desire. It comes back to your desire, your why. Diane, I know you've got to run, and I hate rushing. I think this interview could easily go on for 2 hours.
Well, we'll do another one another day. We'll do something else. We'll teach a class together or something. It'll be fun.
That'll be brilliant. I'd love that. But you know, I think maybe where we can just take it for the last 2 or 3 minutes. A lot of network marketers are out there right now. They're coming online, especially now. People are working from home, and they're going out there. They're doing things the wrong way. They're obviously not getting the results. And you've touched on some of this throughout the interview. But your top 3 to 5 tips for a network marketer or an online marketer wanting to get online and they're not even sure where to start. You know, what would your top 3 to 5 tips be?
Well, I'm going to give you the biggest concept that people have to absorb, and maybe we'll come back another day and we'll do another chat on that because it's too much to cover in a couple minutes. But the main thing is network marketing is a warm market business. Okay, it's always going to be a warm market business. And what that means, in case any of you don't know, is in my definition in today, in 2020, warm market is people that you know and people that feel like they know you. Okay, people you know and people that feel like they know you. So my job is to meet as many people as I can and create as many pieces of content, an audio, a video, a written piece, like we're doing today. We're doing a piece of content so that lots of people feel like they know me. Because when they feel like they know me, that's when you have an opportunity to just check out, hey, I don't know if you have any interest, but, we have a program here, make some extra money. Or we're teaching about how to, work from home, or whatever your prospecting is. It doesn't work nearly as well on cold strangers as it does on people that feel like they know you, because there's some trust factor.
Right.
And I know there's trainers that teach people to just go through and prospect cold. And if you do hundreds of people a week, you're going to sign people. But back then I had little kids and I didn't want to put in that kind of time. And now I just want to travel and have fun if they ever let me travel again. But, I'm at the stage of my life where my kids are grown and I worked very hard to have this stage of my life. I don't want to work 12 hours a day. So prospecting, I would have to prospect. If you're new, you'd have to prospect 100 people to get 10 presentations. And if you get 10 presentations, you might sign 2. So that would be an awful lot of prospecting. That's prospecting more than 10 people a day. You got to locate those people. And most people today, their instant knee-jerk reaction is, no, leave me alone, because they've been hit up so many times. So until somebody feels like they know me, I have no traction. And that's why I teach people 3 simple steps. You're going to meet 10 people a day. Meet 10 new people a day, and obviously try to target them into the space. Like I meet home business owners. Somebody might meet people that are looking to lose weight. Somebody might meet people that are looking to change their financial state. whatever market you're going after, meet them. Don't sell them, don't just meet them. You're going to create and promote a piece of content, write something helpful, the service part. I'm in service. I'm going to create a video teaching them. A lot of people think I don't know anything. Yes, you do. You know more than the new guy. Everybody does. If you've been in one day, you know more than the new guy. You know how to, not click on that link to get a virus on the internet, or you know how to, a lot of things, And then the last thing is, and we don't have time to cover it today, is I teach people how to create newsletters and to write to that newsletter. I like people to write daily when they're getting their feet wet. Later on, you can write 3-4 times a week. And if you do that, it's a magical cycle, because you're new people, you're constantly bringing in new energy in people, you're constantly speaking to them without having to be there. If I create a piece like this video, somebody's going to be watching it 4 years from today. You watch videos that I cut years ago.
Yes.
They keep working for you. They're like little soldiers working for you day and night. And if I write that newsletter, I'm always at the top of their mind. So when they want to buy something, they're thinking of me. I've already served them.
Wow. That's so powerful. The know, like, and trust factor. That's what they say. People need to know you, like you, and trust you. You're just doing it with leverage online as opposed to doing it in person now. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's so much more effective online because you can be much more visible. It would be very hard to see someone every day offline.
Right.
But online, we see each other every day. We see each other on video every day. So like, you're on the other side of the world and I feel like I know you. I see you all the time online. I see you working with your students. I see you teaching. So think about it. We're a lot of miles away and time zones away, and yet we have this relationship. It's much easier today than it ever was. And when people complain today, I just laugh. I'm like, you guys have no idea what it was. You have no, I used to go around and hang signs on poles and hang up flyers all over the place and, walk up to people and go, hi, you look like you're health-minded.
All the lines. I see we were taught all the same lines. I love it.
Of course. And they work done consistently and done in volume. And everybody, my last line I'll give you, and then I got to run because I got another call, is you can't automate what you don't know how to do manually. That's really important to understand. If you don't know how to speak to someone, you can't write them a letter and speak to them. You can't make a video and speak to them. It's very important to practice speaking to people. And that's why my mentor, even though I had been in the industry 6 years when I met him, he made me go back out and learn to speak to people better. And because of that, I became a much better writer. I could write a letter back then, but they were kind of stunted and salesy. Once I learned more about communication, and some of the things I teach in my mastermind, which is just all about, emotional triggers and things that people have, all of a sudden my written communication became magical. And that was from the real life experience. You couldn't learn to write like that if you didn't learn how to talk like that.
Wow. Diane, thanks so much for this time. It was very valuable. I think people are going to come out and look for you. So what are your social media pages? People will probably want to come and find some of your content the same way I did. Where can they find you?
Well, my main site is DianeHochman.com. It's Hochman, so DianeHochman.com. And all my social media is under my name, Diane Hochman. So it's Facebook.com/Diane Hochman, Instagram.com/Diane Hochman, etc. So you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, everywhere.
Wow, I'm not even on TikTok. So I am there, but I don't really use it. But I'm going to be watching what you do, and I'm.
It's okay. It's hard. Well, I don't know. I started, but I'm not creative. I don't do the dances. I don't know. I'll work up to that.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Diane. Thanks so much for the time. I really look forward to speaking to you again. And I know you're busy, but if I pop you a message every now and again, it's because I'm really inspired by what you've done. And you make things so super simple. You don't overcomplicate it, which I love. But thanks so much. I really appreciate it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Diane is a rock star. Definitely go out there, look for her pages, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers, Diane. Hope you have an awesome day.
I'm the old rock star. He's the new rock star. He's the rock star. I'm the old lady. If you want to work with someone, you go find someone that has drive and desire, contemporary right now. Go find this man. He's amazing. I love working with him, and he's like a sponge. So my gosh, go find this guy.
Awesome. Thanks so much,
All
Dan.
right. I got to run. See you guys later.
Cheers. Bye.